Hey everybody, coming to you with the Quarantine Quickie for March 24th, 2020. Today's question, or ponderable, was brought to us by Ryan M., our faithful patron on Twitter. He says, what would be your dream Deep Purple set list? That's a really good question. Since it's a dream, I think my set list would kind of cover as many lineups as possible. I would kind of what we talked about in our Deep Purple, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame episode, where we wished there'd been some sort of inclusion of Glenn Hughes and David Coverdale. And, while we're dreaming, I would like to see all members of Deep Purple take the stage. And that would include those members that are no longer with us, Tommy Bolin and John Lord. And those that are hard to track down, like Rod Evans. So I'd like to see it kind of open up with a few of the really great Mark I cuts. Hush would probably be an obvious choice. I would love to see a full orchestral version of April. Some of like the songs like The Painter and Why Didn't Rosemary. It'd be awesome to see that and kind of morph into Mark II, where you have a ton of material. You're gonna, just off the top of my head, Speed King, Bloodsucker, one of my all-time favorites. I'd love to see, Pictures of Home and Never Before. Smoke on the Water, I guess you have to throw that in there, although it's, I've heard it enough for my life, probably. Going through, left out Fireball and some of the great tracks on that album. Would love to dive through some Who Do We Think We Are, Mary Long, would have to be in my dream set list. Rat Bat Blue, going through Mark II and III, Burn, Sail Away, Stormbringer, so many others. Holy Man, would love to see, of course, Getting Tighter, and this time around Ode to G being closing it out. You Keep on Moving. That would kind of probably take me through the 1976 end of the band. Of course, you could continue it on. My knowledge of the between after, say, Perfect Strangers through The Battle Rages On is a little more limited. There's a few tracks that would be great to hear from that era, as well as from the Morse era. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. Since we haven't really covered any of the later albums yet, I'm gonna kind of cut it off at 1976. But of course, Perfect Strangers and Knocking at Your Back Door, Ted the Mechanic, and just all of these more recent hits. Of course, recent being within the past 35 years. But that's kind of my dream set list, would be to see everyone kind of come together. Everyone from Rod and Nick through Don Airey, just present and representing their kind of peak contributions to the band. That being said, what would your dream set list be? I'm just saying this off the top of my head driving in the car, so I don't. I'm sure if I actually looked at all the track lists and wrote down things, I would come up with a pretty lengthy. I mean, we're talking probably a 5-hour concert here, so kind of have to leave it at that. Although I think they really achieved a lot of this when they did the tribute to John Lord. They did a great collection of songs spanning all of those years. Would have been great to see David Coverdale involved, but that was, that's definitely a good start, and then I would build on that. So once again, let me know what your dream set list would be down below, and hopefully we'll catch up again tomorrow for another Quarantine Quickie. I'm lucky/unlucky to be leaving the house and going to work right now. Hope you're all staying sane. It's a tough one today, and doesn't look like it's gonna get any less tough over the course of the week. So stay safe out there, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.